Hey y'all, what's up? So yeah, I wanted to go ahead and make you guys a video. I don't necessarily have a upload schedule for this channel because, very busy mommy, busy with life always. But I wanted to talk about this. So thinking in your favor and self-concept. So honestly, the two do go hand in hand. And I am never going to be of the mindset that you don't need self concept to manifest or, think in your favor or, turn your life around. You have to completely do a 180, especially if you're used to operating a certain way. And that's something that I've found, especially as a person that used to have a very low self-concept and a very low sense of self, a very low sense self-worth and self-love and all that and self-appreciation. Like just low, girl, just in the damn pits of hell. Okay. Like as a person who used to be that low vibrational, and to turn it around and to stand in it 10 toes down and give a damn about it, I had to really truly work on my self-concept. And to be honest, that's why I aimed high, because that's what I deserve. I got tired of settling in my life. That's another thing. If you have low self-concept, you'll settle. You're going to settle for, shitty partners. You're going to settle for shitty relationships. You're going to settle for less than what you deserve. People are going to show up shitty in your reality because you don't value yourself. So you are embodying a person that doesn't value yourself. And whether you're aware of it or not, you have behaviors, both conscious and subconscious, that emit that energy. And what do we get in life? We don't get what we want. We get who we are being. So I once, again, I got tired of being that low, shitty version of self. And I'm like, you know what? I'm about to go all in because all I know is I deserve better. I deserve more. I deserve what I give myself on the daily, if not more. And so I started being more mindful and being more conscious with how I invested in myself and how I loved myself. I even, like, if you guys watch my main channel, The Life of a Free Spirit, I've been talking about buying myself flowers and just kind of using that as like a self-love mantra and like as a, just like a token of my own affection for myself, to show myself how much I mean to myself. And not only has me buying myself flowers, and this is just one example, right? But not only has me buying myself flowers, whenever I go on a date or whatever, the guy's gonna bring flowers automatic. I mean, I literally even recently had flowers delivered to my doorstep, right? And I've never have had that happen before. Other than like, this is just dating, but like, other than one time I had a guy like, give me a beautiful bouquet. It was like around Valentine's Day, and it was like these chocolates, and they were delivered, and then we went out on a date later or whatever, and like it was like, one of those, I think it honestly probably came from like 1-800-Flowers, if I'm not gonna lie, but like, you know what I mean. But I hadn't experienced it often, is what I'm saying. So I normalized the experience for myself, because other than Valentine's Day and typical holidays, what I found in my previous relationships, almost all of them, they all mirrored each other, because who am I being, right? It all comes down to me. It all comes down to accountability of self, right? So I'm not even blaming those partners or anything like that anymore at all, because I see how it was just all me and they were all just reflecting me the entire time, right? But what I have found, getting myself flowers and making it a normalized experience for myself. But when I was in previous relationships, like I would honestly only receive flowers like on like a holiday basis or like a special occasion basis. Like very seldom would they be random, and very often would I have to ask for them, or I felt like I had to ask for them, right? Because it's what I used to believe, right? We have to work on our beliefs, all right? So, and that's why I say it's like everybody, it's everything is always mirroring you, always, at all times. So, I used to believe that I would have to ask for these, and like I got tired of asking for flowers, and I feel like this is a common complaint amongst women, which, yes, it's shitty that, we feel like we have to ask for flowers, but to be honest, no one's really going to love you like how you love yourself. And that doesn't mean that no one is capable of loving you. However, if you do not set the standard for how you want to be loved and what your love languages are and what your love language is, how the fuck is somebody else supposed to know? Right? And some guys, like, I think that unfortunately a lot of men, they, I don't want to, contribute to any limiting beliefs, but a lot of men growing up, they, I do feel like learning women's love language can sometimes be a difficult thing for men. However, the right man there's nothing too difficult for him, right? Like, he's not going to ever complain, right? So I don't want to, get to whatever and caught up in limiting beliefs, because this is really not about that. This is just like an example. But when I started buying myself flowers, honey, I receive them regularly, if not twice a week now, which is super wild. And it all started with me doing it for myself. And I do other things, right? So, working and earning more income, I pay myself. I pay myself not only to, I did it as a part of like healing my relationship with money and my money mindset, but also I'm a woman that if I'm dating, I like them random direct deposits. Please hit me with that. Hit me with that. Like, hit my Cash App up. Okay. Hit my PayPal up. Okay. I like that. Started doing it for myself just as a regular whatever. You can even schedule a time, out of the week or the month to where you like, have a transfer to yourself scheduled. And it's like, ooh, bop. And you can even have it with like a little message, like, love you, whatever. I did this for myself. And it's so insane because, the universe is always mirroring and reflecting us. So it's like, I started doing this, and honey, girl, I get people, girl. And it's like, I don't have to ask, right? Like, because I shouldn't fucking have to ask ever, right? So it's like, okay, I'm just going to start doing things for myself on GP, right? And, along with affirmations and meditating and things like that, I'm just going to start doing it for self, because the more I do it for self, the more I'm not only going to see it reflecting in my reality, but I'm going to see it reflecting in, people who I'm dating or people who I interact with. And overall, it's just going to continue to build my self-concept. Therefore, it's going to continue to build me thinking in my favor in regards to everything, relationships, even interactions, sense of self-love, self-worth. It's going to all like connect. It's going to all just like flow together. And I love it so much. Honestly, I do. And so I didn't really start to see the difference. And this is the thing when you're actively, trying to consciously manifest and change your life around, you need to pay attention, but remain grateful at all times. Never speak against self. Never speak against your life. Never be like, oh, wait, what the fuck's taking so long and why? Because that's when you're going to miss out on some of your greatest blessings. Because another thing that I've noticed when I've been doing this mindset work and this mindfulness work and this self-concept elevation work is that there's a great level of stability that comes from doing it. If you're a person, especially if you're a person that's like suffered from like panic attacks, like depression or anxiety, things like that. If you are a person that has like suffered that, doing mindset work, practicing mindfulness and building the hell out of your self-concept will benefit you. And I promise you, you will experience more stability internally. And then of course, if we are stable internal, our reality is going to reflect that. It's always about who we're being. And I'm sorry, there's just nothing greater than having that stability inside, that steady, consistent self-love inside. There's nothing like living a life where you no longer have the negative voice talking so much shit in your brain, talking down to you, calling you all kinds of names, saying it's not good enough. Okay, there's nothing like living a life where you have clarity, where you have peace, where you have inner harmony, where you have stability, where you have agility, like your energy goes up so you're able to like, do more because you naturally feel great about self, about life, about everything, right? Like you feel great as a whole. And you're constantly thinking in your favor naturally. Like, I wonder what great thing's gonna happen today. Oh, I'm excited. Oh, I wonder what my life has for me today. Oh, goodness. I wonder what's gonna pop off today. Oh, what's gonna happen? Instead of being like, oh, I wonder what's gonna pop off today. It's probably gonna be some bullshit. It's probably gonna, nah. Because you speak like that, you believe it, you start, perpetuating those habits, you will manifest it. And you're going to wonder why everything's going to shit when you're thinking like that, right? So when you start thinking in the opposite and you start believing the opposite, you're going to see your life work more for the positive. And even though I am coming from a place to where I'm speaking about this as if it's easy, it used to not be that easy for me. I used to have to practice mindfulness about 8 to 9 times a day, and nervous system regulation all throughout the day. Like some people say, oh, you only have to do nervous system regulation like 2 to 3 times a day, with your meditations and your sleep tapes and whatever the hell else you're doing. No, I had to do it all throughout the day. I had to, especially my chamomile tea, especially my deep breathing, my breath work. I had to. Especially as a person who used to panic and all that shit and get the heart sinky feeling whenever I would see something that I didn't like, or something that I was too attached to. That's really what that comes down to. We can talk about that. Something that I was too attached to, or something that I was, possibly even afraid of or whatever. And so then I'm assigning all these horrible meanings to things, which that's one of the worst things that you can do. Do not assign bad meaning to things that you even yourself aren't sure about, right? And I could make a separate video about that because I feel like that's something that people do that they don't probably realize they're doing, like assigning bad meaning to things. Like, for example, just because you get an unexpected bill in the mail does not necessarily mean you're going broke. Like, or just because you get, I don't know, just because someone tells you that they don't like you doesn't mean that you're a terrible person or you're an unlikable person. Sometimes people label things as the worst and they label it against themselves and they don't know that they're doing this, and then they wonder why their life is playing out this way because of what they believe. If you can just take things for what they are and have a mutual level of detachment from it and say that, hey, this does not define me. This doesn't dictate who I am as a person. This has no right to hold any power over me because I know who I am. And I know that I am worth so much more than this. I deserve more than this. I am so much more than all of this, than any of this. And you build yourself up and say that the circumstances don't define you. Because remember, circumstances do not matter. So why the fuck would your circumstances matter, right? Like, I know that sometimes we get caught in like these cycles and like these thinking patterns, but I promise you, once you start purposefully thinking in your favor and relentlessly building on your self-concept, you're going to see your life change for the better. But it's those gradual, small changes. Like, for example, when you first start doing the self-concept work, one of the things that you might notice is that you become more magnetic, right? I'm a person that, girl, not only did I do my self-concept work, but girl, I do mirror work because I don't play. I got tired. I did all of it. I know I told you all, how I worked on my mindset and how I turned things around, but girl, I also went ham with my techniques just because, when I started getting comfortable and when I started believing more in the affirmations and believing in self, and that self-love like developed and it like stayed and it grew, I was like, okay, fuck yeah, now I'm about to take this shit 10 times because I got so tired of operating like how I used to operate. I could never go back to her. I could never go back to my old self-concept. No, way too damn long. Way too much shit has popped off in my life in the past. Way too, and now as a mommy, I'm really not playing. Like, I'm really not playing with anything, anyone, and not even self. So it's like, I have gotten to a point to where it's like, all right, bet, let me just do all my techniques. So I've done mirror work. And I noticed that when I started elevating my self-concept, I became more magnetic. I've always been a pretty magnetic person because I'm very pretty, I'm very attractive, and I know that. Luckily, I've never felt too bad about my looks. And I'm blessed. That's just good fortune, honestly. But I am even more so magnetic, to where I go out in public and I get hit on even more now. And it's like, damn, like even if I'm plain face, natural hair, sweats on, girl, I'm getting hollered at, you know what I'm saying? Or even if I'm out on dates, the men are bold. Girl, I be out on dates with like a whole nother man, and then here come another man. Oh, this yo girl, sir, please. Goodness, but it's like the magnetism, honestly. Or if I'm like in a Starbucks, the baristas just want to talk to me. They compliment me even more now. And especially if they know my name. So then they feel, comfortable with me. And I love that type of stuff. Like girlies, I love talking to my girls in public because girls, we have common sense. We're going to come up to each other and we're going to, talk about our hair, our nails, our purse, the colors that we're wearing, our Starbucks drink, and we're going to kiki and we're going to keep it at that. The men be trying to literally like throw you over their shoulder and take you home. I just don't know, but I don't mind it. But see, now that it's like, I understand my magnetism, I am a lot more careful when I'm out in public, especially as a mom, because I'm not playing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, even though I might draw a lot of attention naturally just because of who I am, I gotta keep it. I gotta keep it low key when I'm out with baby, because ain't nobody trying to draw that much damn attention. Even though I can't help it. But those are little things you're going to notice in your reality start to change almost instantly. Also, the way your immediate circle treats you. For example, if you're used to having certain dynamics within your family, let's say you have family that like will sometimes make some, below the belt type jokes, or maybe you've had family members who doubt you, right? Like, because if you doubt yourself, here's like a little spoiler to life and like a bit of a, some insight. People around you echo your subconscious, right? And that's because everybody is a reflection of you. Okay, so think about it. Like, if you are working on like something huge, right? And let's say you still have some doubt, some fear, someone close to you is going to echo that fear and speak to it. And it's up to you to either believe it, it's up to you to just like deny it and keep moving, or it's also up to you to just not give a fuck and not listen and just keep pushing past that. I have now finally realized that people in our lives only reflect us ever, whether that is good, bad, or even neutral. And if someone is reflecting anything to you bad, like, saying, oh, are you sure you'll do that? Or do you think you'll have the ability to do this? Or do you really believe that you can achieve this? That is a signal from the literal universe, from your reality, to go within and work on self. There's something within you that believes whatever that bullshit conversation is. There's something in you that believes it, if not just slightly, right? Nip it in the bud. Say, I am the best ever. I am the best there ever was. I can achieve all of my dreams because I deserve to. I am more than capable of being the goddess of my reality. I am more than capable of being all there is. In fact, I am all there is. Continue to build yourself up, build up your self-worth, your self-love, your self-belief, because over time, not only will you prove to yourself that you can achieve all of these things, but you will also diminish all of that bullshit external reflection. So when you build up your self-concept, you're going to see this shift in the people who are closest to you. If you're used to certain dynamics, especially with like family or, friends or even loved ones that you're close to, they will start to treat you different. You'll start to talk to them, especially if you want to talk to them about like your goals. Let's say you have a cool idea that you're starting, right? Like something like, that you're interested in. And somebody who would normally be like, are you sure? Let's say you first bring up your idea to them and the thing that's out of their mouth is, oh, that's actually really cool. Oh, I'd love to see you do that actually. Like, yes, you should definitely do that. You're perfect for that. And you're going to side eye them like this you, right? Now, don't side eye to where you start to have disbelief and assign bad meaning to it because you don't want it to negatively manifest against you. You know what I mean? Um, Take it as a signal that, oh shit, I worked on something. And not only am I believing and loving and having faith in self, but others are just naturally having more and more faith in me. And now we aren't doing this for external validation. Please do not get me wrong, because in order to be validated in this life, you have to always validate yourself. But that's exactly what I'm saying. It's a foolproof, evident fact that you are believing in yourself, that you are having validation within yourself, that you're validating your own goals, desires, etc., etc. And you're going to see it just naturally reflect in your reality. And then when you go further, you're not going to get as frustrated. You're not going to feel like giving up. You're not going to feel like, oh, I should just throw in the towel. You're not going to feel like, oh my God, I can't believe, no. You're going to feel more motivated towards your goals, and they're going to just like flow more effortlessly because you're going to get it. Like, you're not going to feel so discouraged and deterred off your path when you start really elevating your self-concept and your self-worth, because you're going to be eager to even see yourself go further and further and, achieve the distance, and it's like, it's wild too, because you start to also not only believe the affirmations, but you actually begin to embody them. So if you have an affirmation that's like, I am enough, well, as you build up your self-concept and as you build up your life and you do the complete 180 and turn your life around for the positive, you will start to feel like more than enough. You will start to feel like all there is. You will start to feel like the goddess of your reality. You will start to feel so fucking awesome that waking up is gonna be like a dream. And you're gonna feel so blessed, especially waking up with that inner stability, that inner peace, that inner knowing, that inner motivation. And it's gonna be so different, right? It's gonna be such a contrast from when you used to wake up and like, dread, fear, doubt, talk down on self. It's going to be such a stark contrast to where you're never going to want to go back again, right? So thinking in your favor naturally comes into play easily the more you build up your self-concept. And the two really do go hand in hand. And as you do this work and as you work on yourself and as you elevate or work on consciously manifesting, I really hope this video resonates with you, because I know some people, especially traumatized girlies, struggle with thinking in their favor. But honey, you deserve to be all there is, because you literally are. You are the center of your universe. So be it, okay? You deserve to have an amazing, beautiful, loving, healthy, stable life. You do. So give it to yourself first. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Mwah.